integration. I'm Olga Monica Setiawan as your MC today. Allow me to warmly acknowledge and extend our sincere appreciation to all our distinguished guests. For welcoming remark speakers, we have Prof. Dr. Insinyur Anastasia Sulistiawati, PAE, MS, MM, MIS, DTH, PhD, DAG, the Director of PIP College, and Mr. Luat Sihombing, the Director of Game at Ministry of Creative Economy of the Republic Indonesia. And our esteemed panel of speakers, Bapak Italo Gani, the co-founder and managing partner of Impacto Indonesia, Mr. Robert J. Morris, the founder and CEO at Zype and Block Identity Australia, Ms. Dr. Dias Pranita Estepar MM, the lecturer magister of Creative Industry Program of Universitas Indonesia, Mr. Dr. Sarizal Kamarudin, the Dean of Faculty of Hospitality and Tourism at City University, Malaysia. And our moderator for today's session, Ms. Madeheri Erika Sadana, MTR Par MSc, the Director of Partnership PIP College. We are thrilled to have each and every one of you with us today, and we hope this session will bring valuable insights and inspiration to us all. Now, to officially begin our session, we would like to invite the Director of Polytechnic International Bali to deliver her welcoming remarks. Everyone, please welcome Prof. Dr. Insinyur Anastasia Sulistiawati, PAE, MS, MM, MIS, DTH, PhD, DAG. Prof. Suli, the time is yours.
Thank you. Good afternoon, distinguished speakers, colleagues, participants from around the world. Om Swastiastu, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera bagi kita semua. Rahayu, rahayu. Our esteemed guest speakers, Mr. Luat, sorry. Tak matiin. Switch off, please. Okay, sorry, I got phone. Once again, our esteemed guest speakers, Mr. Luat Sihombing, Mr. Italo Gani, Mr. Dias Pranita, Dr. Sarizal Kamarudin, Mr. Robert J. Morris. On behalf of PIB College, it is my honor to welcome you to the 16th PIB International Webinar Series. It is a pleasure to see participants from government, universities, and industry coming together to share ideas and learn from one another. Today, we discuss an important theme: the connection between technology, tourism, sustainability. How artificial intelligence can support performance while also raising ethical questions and practical challenges. Tourism continues to grow and change, playing social need, economic development, and environment concern. This reminds us that development should bring benefit, not only efficiency. Artificial intelligence can help us plan better, use resources wisely, improve visitor experience. At the same time, AI encourages us to think carefully about fairness, data use, and social impact. Technology should support people, not replace people's values. Progress should strengthen communities, not create distance. This webinar is a forum for dialogue, for listening, sharing, understanding different views. Through cooperation, we can explore practical and balanced ways. I sincerely thank you to our speakers for sharing their experience and knowledge, for contributing to this regional and international exchange. To all participants, I hope today's session will be useful, meaningful, and inspiring. Thank you to everyone, especially distinguished speakers, organizers, for being part of this important session. I wish you a meaningful and productive experience. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti Om. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera bagi kita semua. Shalom, Rahayu, Rahayu. Thank you, MC.
Thank you very much, Prof. Suli, for your warm and inspiring remarks. Now, we are moving to the highlight of today's event, the keynote speech and the panel session with our international speakers. To lead the session, it is my pleasure to introduce our moderator, Ms. Made Heri Erika Sedana, MTR Par MSc. Ms. Erika will guide us through the keynote speech, the presentations, until the Q&A session. So, without any further ado, please welcome Ms. Erika to fully comment the session.
Well, thank you very much, Monica. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we can address virtual applause to Monica as one of our best students of PIB College and winner of international debate competitions held in Bali. Thank you once again, Monica. And thank you, Professor Suli, for the welcoming remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, good afternoon to you. And once again, welcome to our International Webinar Series 16. And with another unique theme we have today, exploring the intersections of technology, tourism, and sustainability, how AI can enhance performance, AI ethical considerations, challenges in the integration. In the International Webinar Series today, ladies and gentlemen, PIB College is collaborating closely with Ministry of Creative Economy of Indonesia, Impact to Indonesia, Universitas Indonesia, Cybe and Block Identity Australia, and City University of Malaysia. My name is once again Erika Sedana, Director of Partnership of PIB College. It is indeed a pleasure to have you all here online. And of course, it is a great honor to be the host of this essential webinar series. I would like to also address our sincere appreciation to Director of PIB College, the Honorable Ibu Professor Dr. Insinyur Anastasia Sulistiawati, BEA, MS, MM, MS, DTH, PhD, DAG, and of course, Dr. Paulus Heri Arianto, MA, CBC, Deputy Director of PIB College, joining remotely. And of course, good afternoon to our keynote speaker, Bapak Luat Sihombing, Director of Game at Ministry of Creative Economy of Indonesia. Selamat siang, Pak Luat. Thank you for joining us. And our speakers, Robert J. Morris, Founder and CEO at Cybe and Block Identity Australia. And good afternoon, Ibu Dr. Dias Pranita Estepar, MM, Lecturer at Magister of Creative Industry Program of University of Indonesia. And Bapak Dr. Shahrizal Kamarudin, Dean of Faculty of Hospitality and Tourism at City University of Malaysia. Thank you very much indeed for joining us today. And please do accept our sincere regret that Bapak Italo Gani, co-founder and managing partner of Impact to Indonesia, is not making it today due to medical conditions. So let's wish him a speedy recovery. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, to all participants joining our webinar sessions, once again, welcome and thank you for making your time to attend this international webinar series. Ladies and gentlemen, we initiated and started the international webinar series since December 2022 with a very simple goal: actively engage practitioners, public as well as academics, to gain insights into tourism's best practices, current issues, and future challenges and opportunities. And we want to present access of gaining valuable insights, foster awareness, and catalyze discussions among tourism stakeholders. And the global tourism industry, ladies and gentlemen, increasingly shaped by rapid technological information. I'm very sure that you agree, particularly the growing influence of artificial intelligence or AI across operational, strategic, and experiential dimensions. And from performance optimizations and intelligence discussion support systems to personalized customer experiences and smart destinations management, AI in this case has demonstrated significant potential to enhance efficiency, competitiveness, and service quality. At the same time, ladies and gentlemen, the integration of AI within tourism raises important ethical conditions and ethical considerations and operational challenges, including data governance, algorithmic bias, workforce readiness, digital inclusion, and the preservation of cultural and environmental integrity. As technology becomes more deeply embedded in tourism systems, balancing innovation with responsibility has become a very critical imperative. Ladies and gentlemen, commencing the international webinar series today, I'm very much delighted to invite our keynote speaker, Bapak Luat C. Hombing, Director of Game at Ministry of Creative Economy of Indonesia, with the subtopic From Games to Destinations, How AI and Gamification are Shaping the Future of Sustainable Tourism and Creative Industries. Please, Pak Luat.
Hi, Bu Erika. Thank you for PIB for inviting me to this seminar today, and I would like to greet also Prof. Sulis. Thank you, Bu, for inviting us from the Ministry of Creative Economy Agency, Republic of Indonesia. Today, we really happy that we could meet some people here online that we talk about a very trending topic right now, AI, and how it is very debatable topic about how AI we can be utilized, how AI actually can help the users, and how also what is the risk of the using AI continuously to the users actually. So, but I would like to take it from the perspective of gaming regards to my role in the creative economy ministry that I'm taking role in director of games. So let's see how the opportunity and how the trend right now using AI in gaming, and also how it impact to how game also and all the AI actual impact to the tourism to the destination. Let me share some presentation that could be maybe topic for discussion later. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Do you guys can see my presentation?
Yes, it's visible, Pak Luat.
Visible, okay. Okay, thank you everyone. So I would like to take this shortly. Let me introduce about Creative Economy Ministry firstly. So we are in the Creative Ministry. This is the first ministry that focus on creative economy, but in parallel that we also have the function of the implementation as the Creative Economy Agency. We are now divided into some roles that focusly for each subsectors. There is culinary, craft, fashion, art, something like that, and there is also some new subsectors that related to the trend right now, like digital content, new technology, ICT services, and other that already being recognized, like film, animation, video, advertising, music, publishing. And we have 7 prioritized subsectors right now based on the president the president statement about 7 subsectors from the creative economy. There are culinary, craft, fashion, game, application, film, animation, video, and music. So what the government expect that from all the 7 the prioritas subsectors that we could boost the growth of the creative economy industry in Indonesia, because we know that we have the strength position, we have the potential to be the producer of those subsectors industry. So I think this is what we do in creative economy ministry. We do from incubation talent. We do also how to accelerate the product, accelerate the creators. Also we support about the promoting. We support how to commercialize the product, the IP itself, and also how we manage about making some policies, regulations to support the industry as well, to make it accelerate also to in boosting of the industry. So talking about gaming, gaming is very diverse. There are some purpose of gaming actually. There is for the gamification itself that we can implement in some experience like gamification. We can find out in like e-commerce, gamification in HR development, gamification in marketing, something like that one. So there is also game for the entertaining. So this is the common we can find out in every marketplace, in every storefront like Google Play or App Store or in Steam. We can find out many games that coming yearly, and the players itself growing. In Indonesia, we have 150 million gamers, and we from 270 million population of Indonesia. So it's a very huge numbers of gaming. So there is also serious game. Serious game, it could be used for like simulator, something from the for the like the simulator for the heavy machines or like heavy tools, something like that. How to you utilize to simulate in manufacture also. So there are some well-known players from Indonesia also who produced simulators for the manufacturing industry. So in gaming, it's common in Europe, in America. They put like uh, cultural content in their gaming. Is it could be obviously, could be not obviously. So why they put it? Because we know that many games that being like what you call big propaganda thing. This is how some countries also to put to promote their belief, their trust, their idiom, their cultural to promote to another country. So many games that they put the cultural or like the content from like tourism also to promote in their game. This is how they so they the content of the game could also help or support another industry. So through the game, people around the world are introduced to places, stories, values, and identities they may never have encountered before. Indonesia, we have some successful game like especially for the Unbound. They put it's all about like uh, a lovely story, but it is also they put some places around Surabaya in East Java. There is a bridge also there. So we 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 have a dream to like to make the bridge being well known, and then we can attract some tourism also to come to see who play the Space for the Unbound. So the successful of the game will be impact to the there is also a game like Coral Island. They put some what is called like some content that inspired from the Indonesian culture also, and we have some like uh, horror games like Bread Out and also Troublemaker and Pamali. They put Indonesian specials uh, ghost into the game, and then it's being like the foreign users players that they who never see about Indonesian ghost, that we know that Indonesian ghost that's a very different with the another country's ghost, that it could be attract people to understand and to know more about Indonesian the culture in Indonesia. So this is how in the sense the games are not only digital products, they have power tools to shape how the world see our cultures, our cities, and our heritage. So how the role of AI in game production nowadays? So we see that the traction in increasing in 4 areas, that AI can improve the efficiency in coding, the automates in so it's also help to lower the development cost. So game using to help in the process of development, AI could be one of the factor of the efficiency about how the proof of concept being accelerate in terms of time, in terms of the risk, and also generative AI create entire immersive high quality games in some areas that could be being inspired to make more by using the handmade of the people. And we know that in game there is also what is called non-player characters. So we nowadays we can develop intelligent NPCs using AI with memory, personality, adaptive behavior, that putting along overdue and to the predictable. So based on some from BCG report, that we know that nowadays there are around 7,000 games that in the Steam platform that they disclose about they use the AI application. This is the very huge impact in developing of game right now. If we can see in the numbers actually how the creative and in-game assets or graphics being used in by using the AI, and some others are used for the story. Maybe they can create more the in a faster time to create the framework of the story, the dialogue, the description, and also how to produce the voice and sounds, and also how to iterate the UIX of the game also, and they can also produce some marketing assets. So the huge number is to do creative and in-game assets graphics. So if we see in from the quarter 2024, so it's increasing in terms of the number of games that using AI, and how many games that releases with AI, that 21% that game releases with AI in 2020 in quarter 3 2025. So these numbers shown that AI could be used to help to support the development of game, so they can lower the risk in the early phase of the development, so they can find out the proof of concept, to find out the MVP product faster or sooner. And also we see that why this matter for sustainable tourism, that gamification being it's a very important things also to create experience in tourism, how to guide visitors to lesser known about destinations, to reduce pressure on overcrowded hotspots, to create curiosity about local heritage and traditions. And we also how the impact on sustainability about encouraging respectful and responsible tourism behavior, rewarding visit to village cultural sites and MSMEs, and turning tourists into active contributors, not just consumers. This is how game shape people imagine places and cultures. And I would like also to explain how gaming also help the tourism. If we know, like let's say like game of Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go, they use this IP penetrate to the market by partnership with some cities in around the global. So what happened to the cities? The cities hosted the Pokemon Go Fest, like we already done in Bali, in Jakarta, and this is to attract that the players travel to find out the specialty of the event, and the gameplay also require physical movement of the players to come to the city. So this is the direct impact that how hotel occupancy spikes during the event days, F&B, retail, local transport spending increasing also, the city parks, museum, public spaces also could be get crowd in the during the event. What is the indirect impact actually? The cities became known as the player-friendly destinations. We can also expect about the repeat visits outside of the event. So when they already being introduced to the city, we can attract them to visit them to make again another event that could be related with the visitors. This is also we can help. So by having event like this, by gaming something like that, we can have strong user-generated content that being published in TikTok, YouTube, and any other social media. There is another game also, let's say like Assassin's Creed that being held in Paris, Florence, in Venice, and what happened? Yeah, we know that in those city they have many attraction. They can invite more tourists to their cities. So this is how actually gaming could be impact to the tourism, and tourism having the very sustainable economic in terms of the economic, in terms of the impact for the society around the cities. I think gaming could not be far away from the tourism. It is very close. So we hope that Indonesia also can produce game that could have more cultural content inside, but also the cultural itself, the game itself, the fun of the game itself can attract more users from the global, and then we can make some event in the Indonesia that can attract more tourists to come to Indonesia itself. So I think this is how I can explain about the AI, the game itself, and also how impact to the tourism. Later, if you have any questions, we can talk in the panels in the discussion sessions. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much.
Welcome.
Please, Pak. Any further information, Pak?
That's all, Bu Erika. Thank you so much.
All right. Well, Pak Luat, thank you very much indeed. So very comprehensive and detailed, and I could not agree more in gaming could not be far away from tourism industry. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Pak Luat just shared details, information about how gaming actually can support tourism, and about 17 subsectors of creative economy and 7 subsectors of priority that are being developed at the moment, and how important gamification as cultural promotion as well in all industries, not only tourism industry, and the role of AI in game productions. Then Gen AI, which is becoming more common in game development, is also applicable in creative in-game as assets, and then text, for instance, like story, dialogue, and descriptions, voice and sounds, and etc. for sure. Then why exactly AI gaming matters for sustainable tourism, and Pak Luat also mentioning that gamified tourism experience, and that would be definitely impact to sustainability. Thank you once again, Pak Luat. So ladies and gentlemen, now we move on to the next speaker we have today, Robert J. Morris, as the founder and CEO of Sype and Block Identity Australia. with a subtopic of AI, digital identity, and trust frameworks in the future of smart and sustainable tourism. So without further ado, I would like to invite now Robert to share insights about the subtopic mentioned earlier. Please, Robert.
Okay. I think we're sharing the wrong thing. 1 second. Stop sharing. Hello, everyone. Sorry, just bear with me. I'll just share my screen. Share. Okay. I think that is looking better. Can everyone see this?
Yes, very much
Yes,
visible. Please, Robert.
wonderful. Okay. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. And thank you to PIB College for the invitation to talk to you today. Today, I would like to talk about how artificial intelligence, digital identity, and trust frameworks are reshaping tourism, not just technologically, but legally and structurally. As AI becomes embedded in tourism systems, trust is no longer something we assume. It has become a legal, operational, and sustainable requirement. AI now automates decisions to directly affect people. They affect access, pricing, profiling, mobility, and service eligibility. Tourism is inherently cross-border, so data flows between travelers, platforms, destinations, and governments. And because of this, trust is no longer voluntary. It is now enforced through privacy, data protection, and digital trust laws in modern tourism. In modern tourism, innovation without legal trust and privacy compliance is simply no longer viable. This shift is being driven globally by privacy regulations. Laws such as GDPR in Europe establish common expectations around lawful use of data, transparency, and accountability across the entire data lifecycle. For tourism ecosystems, where data moves across many organizations and jurisdictions, this means systems must be designed for privacy and for accountability from the start, not retrofitted later. In Indonesia, Undang-Undang PDP represents a structural shift. Personal data is now treated as a protected legal asset and a national trust responsibility. Tourism organizations are accountable not only for their own systems, but for the entire digital supply chain. That includes the platforms, the payment providers, and the technology partners. Under PDP, compliance must be demonstrated through systems and evidence. It's not through intention or policy statements. Sorry. That leads us directly to what we call the AI trust gap. On one side, artificial intelligence capability is accelerating. Automation, prediction, personalization, and smart pricing. On the other side, law and sustainability require verified identity, proven consent, explainable decisions, and auditable outcomes. When trust, governance, and accountability do not keep pace with AI capability, regulatory risk increases and sustainability claims lose their credibility. This is why digital identity is foundational. Digital identity answers 3 core regulatory questions. Who is the data subject? Who is authorized to act? And can this trust be independently verified later? Without strong digital identity, AI systems cannot meet privacy, compliance, or sustainability expectations, because there's no reliable way to link data, consent, and accountability. Today, global governments, particularly in Europe, are responding to this by formalizing trust service provider models. In fact, the EU regulation was written 2 years ago, which is now moving the European Union into a new structure for trust and identity verification. These models deliberately separate trust, identity, and assurance from application platforms. This reduces systemic risk and allows artificial intelligence and digital services to scale with clear regulatory boundaries. Block Identity is an example of this category, a globally oriented trust service provider co-owned between Indonesia and Australia, designed to align digital identity, privacy compliance, and auditability across jurisdictions. To make this tangible, I'll give you 3 tourism-related use cases that this enables. And the first one is in the space of fraud prevention. Today, we see high risks with AI-driven content in accommodation platforms. I've read many stories of people who have booked properties that were fake. They weren't real property listings. And to their horror, when they've arrived in a destination, they've found that the property that they've actually rented is a building site or a completely undeveloped location, or it doesn't even exist. So trust service providers help us eliminate that fraud risk. We can reduce that risk by ensuring that all parties involved in that transaction are 100% verified and valid. This will eliminate fake property listings and impersonation on accommodation platforms. If we look at the second use case, it's really around privacy protection. If you think about your experience when you register at a hotel or you go to hire a car, the number of times you have to hand over your ID and they take a photograph of it, they probably put it on their WhatsApp, it gets stored in various locations, and you really have no control. That verification now with trust service providers can occur without unnecessary exposure of personal data. Inherently, it supports compliance with UU PDP and other global privacy principles. The third use case is ease of travel. As travelers move through bookings, airports, hotels, transport, trust verification can be reused seamlessly, reducing friction while maintaining compliance, ultimately giving the tourist a much seamless, more enjoyable experience, while ensuring that the tourist providers, service providers, accommodation providers are remaining compliant at all times with privacy laws all around the world. So to conclude, privacy laws are not barriers to innovation. They enable trust. Digital identity and trust frameworks are now core infrastructure for enabled tourism. And the future of tourism, sustainability, must be lawful, verifiable, and provable. It cannot be assumed. Trust by design is what makes the future possible. And thank you very much. Hopefully that's not overrun my time.
Well, thank you so much, Robert. So I remember that I think we met like 2 years ago in an event in Jakarta, and I'm glad that you are still in support to PIB International Webinar Series as a second time now in this international webinar series. Well, thank you once again, Robert. Ladies and gentlemen, so we've heard a lot of essential information about from Robert from Block Identity associated with AI, digital identity, as well as trust frameworks, which is part of legal requirements, and it is part of critical trust. Influencers now move into the AI automates, which AI automates decisions that directly affect people, of course, and which tourism system operate across borders and jurisdictions. Then Also, Robert shared about personal data, which is now becoming a protected legal assets, and the connections with sustainability, which depends on trustworthy data and identities, as well as how regulations exactly enforces trust through the accountability and auditability. So thank you once again, Robert, for sharing that essential information today. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like now to move on to the third speaker we have today, Ibu Dr. Dias Pranita Estepar, MM, lecturer of Magister of Creative Industry program at University of Indonesia, with subtopic AI-driven smart tourism, enhancing performance, sustainability, and ethical practices in the digital era. So I would like now to invite Ibu Dr. Dias to share her insights, please.
All right, thank you, Ibu, for your time. Is my voice heard?
Yes, Ibu, you are audible.
All right, thank you, because it's raining hard here. Well, first of all, I would like to thank for the opportunity to share my thinking about the AI that now become a very, a very good discussion, right? In everywhere, including the academic area. So what we can say is that we are now living in a very interesting era about the AI, how it has already disrupted our way of living, when in early beginning, we found that AI become a threat to our lives. And then finally, we can consider that AI is very helpful for our daily lives, and further, especially for business and so on. So we have already come to a conclusion also that we have to live with AI. It's not to be treated as our enemy, but have to embrace it to achieve efficiency and productivity. But still, there is some ethical and governance consideration to be considered in about AI. And so my presentation will focus on addressing three things. The first one is the role of AI in tourism, and the second one is about the role of AI in creative economy. And the third is the form of AI, because we are now entering the third generation of AI, and also their ethical and governance consideration. So now I will start with why AI matters in tourism. So tourism has evolved into a data-intensive experience economy, and destination no longer compete only on attraction, prices, or branding, but also the capacity to process, interpret, and act on data in real time. So those who cannot get the capacity to process and interpret the data, I think will lose the competition. So what is the role of AI? So the first one is in tourism, right? AI is strategic infrastructure. So without AI, destination operates reactively and risk systemic inefficiency. So with AI, we can be more proactive and also efficient. And the second one, AI reshape destination competitiveness. So destinations should integrate with AI risk algorithm, and also invisibility, not to be invisible in algorithmic area, because then we will lose our competitiveness. And AI also become the risk management and resilience system, because it will be able to manage uncertainty proactively rather than respond to after damage. So we can predict through AI. And AI also transformed tourist destination relationship into tourist destinations and platform. And culture is one of tourism's most valuable and fragile assets. That's why AI and cultural economy optimization actually can be achieved. And AI also can be used as enabler to tourism governance. So becomes the foundation for smart tourism. And the second one is why AI matters in creative economy. So actually, AI can redefine creative labor and agency. So creative labor shift from making to curating, directing, validating, governing creative systems, because AI have an ability to make a production and distribution. So the second one, AI restructure the creative economy from production to governance. So AI become the creative infrastructure, and it also have the algorithmic capability, and creative sectors can depend on platform-mediated visibility to see how their creation can be successful in the market. And AI also can determine cultural visibility and market legitimacy. So because AI can determine what is relevant, which one become dominant, and which creativity is economically rewarded. And AI also can accelerate skill, but we have to be also aware that it can threaten meaning. So AI can enable scaling creative output, but excessive automation can make a cultural homogenization, aesthetic standardization, and erosion of local meaning. And AI in creative economy can also reconfigure intellectual property and value capture. So the IP shift from ownership of works to control over models, data, and platforms. Creative economies also risk to become extractive ecosystems that we have to address on this matter. AI also introduce agentic system into creative governance. So creative decisions become optimization of problems, artistic risk-taking decline. So actually, we can make our, AI as our part of ourselves as an agent. And then AI can stabilize the creative meaning if governed. So can do as a cultural memory infrastructure, not just a production engine. And also the ethical governance as the decisive variable. So ethical governance must keep human in the loop, protect cultural and IP rights, ensure transparency and accountability, prevent algorithmic dominance, because AI always deals with data. And without governance, AI extract values and flatten cultures. This is what is the threats of the AI. With governance, AI amplifies creativity and sustains meaning. So we are now coming to the characteristic of AI. We have three forms of AI. The first one is assisted AI. It is actually how AI, for example, can give recommendation based on rank. So create or giving content recommendation and personalization to our needs. And the second era is generative AI, where AI can create, for example, create image, narrative, storytelling, even from the first presenter, Pak Luat, said that AI can help the creator of games to make games. And also the agentic AI, how now AI can make a decision-making system or can be our agent for decision-making. So through these three forms of AI, actually there are risks. The first one, assisted AI, the risk is automation bias. And the generative AI is cultural misrepresentation because we are too much playing with the data and algorithm. And also the agentic AI also makes us losing our social authority, especially for the community. And the governance focus in assisted AI is how we make transparency and humans still in control. And in generative AI, how we can make an IP and cultural validation. And the agentic AI actually focus on how institutional oversight, so how we in the community still have an important roles. And ethical priority is fairness for the assisted AI, generative AI about integrity, and agentic AI about the legitimacy of mostly about the culture. So now we are trying to discuss more about the assisted AI. Actually, the role of the assisted AI is still AI gives recommendation, usually because it using data, so it's give ranking on the popularity or algorithmic and so on, and human is deciding the things. So the ethical consideration is the bias because of the ranks and opacity in support function, over reliance risk, and data ethics, because that's now data becomes something is not privacy anymore, and the security of data. And the governance consideration is transparency requirements, human in the loop of mandates, bias audits and monitoring, clear accountability chains. So the governance goals is to analyze to identify trends, patterns, and improvement. And the second one is the generative AI. In this function, actually, AI creates something, and human sets the purpose, context, reasons, and function as creative directors and cultural validation. So the typical application, we can know that we can make image, video, text, music generation, and so on. And we can make automated branding and cultural content and so on. But the ethical consideration is about the authorship and ownership, cultural misrepresentation, dataset exploitation, and authenticity delusion. And the governance consideration is about how AI-generated content should be identifiable, so disclosure and labeling, and how community or expert review for culturally sensitive outputs. And also the IP and data governance framework is to set a clear rule on training data, royalties, and reuse. And the contextual constraint is limit on AI generation in heritage or sacred domains. So our culture is still can be sustainable. So the governance goals for the generative AI is how we protect cultural integrity while enabling responsible creative augmentation. And finally, now we are entering the agentic AI forms. It is like an AI just become an autonomous decision maker and optimizer. So actually, in this aspect, we human delegate some function to machine to make decision. So the typical application is, for example, is autonomous content distribution and dynamic pricing and targeting, behavioral optimization system, automated commissioning, and curation. And the ethical consideration for this is the loss of human control, because agentic AI may act in ways that humans do not fully foresee or intend. Second one is delegated meaning making. So cultural and creative decision become optimization problems rather than social judgment. And the algorithmic hegemony, where dominant narratives are reinforced while marginal voices are suppressed. And moral responsibility gap, when outcomes cause harm and responsibility become diffuse and contested. So the governance consideration for this agentic AI, actually we have to clear agency boundaries, define what AI can and cannot decide autonomously. And human must retain the ability to halt AI action. And then agentic decisions must be traceable and reviewable over time. And governance must be systematic and not discretionary. So the governance goals is prevent optimization logic from replacing social, cultural, and ethical judgment. So this is what finally come to a conclusion that in tourism, AI matters because it transforms how cultural meaning is produced, legitimized, and governed. And the central challenge is no longer whether AI should be used in tourism, but on how, who governs it, whose value it embeds, and which forms of cultural legitimacy it sustains. And on creative economy, actually AI transforms creativity from a human-centered cultural practice into socio-technical system where meaning, value, and legitimacy are increasingly algorithmical mediated. So we need to rethink creative labor, defining a cultural legitimacy, and designing governance framework. So finally, the cross-cutting ethical principles for all forms. The first one is we have to get the human-centered authority, and then cultural legitimacy, transparency, readdress the AI and proportional and continuous. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much indeed, Dr. Diaz. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've heard a lot about ethical considerations and governance goals as well. So I'd like to see and to read that cross-cutting ethical principle in all forms. Regardless of AI forms, ethical AI integration in tourism and creative industries must be guided by human-centered authority, cultural legitimacy, transparency and explainability, accountability and redress, proportional autonomy and continuous governance. So that is totally very critical to implement. And Ibu Diaz also sharing at the beginning about why exactly AI matters in tourism, that further involved in data-intensive experience economy, and also part of which is very also important to highlight that destinations just no longer compete only on attractions, prices, or branding, but also on their capacity to process, interpret, and also act on data in a real time. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've heard also the explanation from Dr. Diaz about why AI matters in creative economy. And Dr. Diaz also shared about 8 essential pillars. One of those are actually ethical governance as the decisive variable. So thank you once again, Ibu Dr. Diaz, for the sessions and the sharings in regards to AI ethical sections as well as the governance. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like now to move on to the next speaker we have here, Dr. Sarizal Kamarudin, Dean of Faculty of Hospitality and Tourism at City University of Malaysia, with subtopic exploring the intersections of hospitality educations and industry transformations in Southeast Asia. So please, Dr. Sarizal. You are muted, Dr. Sarizal.
Thank you, Ibu Erika. Right. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh, and a very good afternoon to my fellow speakers, all those available online. Let me just try to put my slides. Can you see? Is it available?
Yes, visible.
Right. Right. First of all, thank you, PIB College, for the opportunity given. It was a very good area to talk about AI and all these the efforts that been done to basically overcome and how to compete. Now, what I'm going to talk to today is about to explore the evolving landscape of hospitality education and the critical role in what you call this transforming the industry across in the context of Southeast Asia, right? So it is a very challenging topic, but again, we'll try to look into how education is trying to adapt to meet the industry needs in a very rapid changing environment, but with a focus on the future pathways and regional collaboration, right? So what we're going to look at perhaps uh, we begin with the overview. Let's look at the overview of the industry transformation, what has been happening so far. The Southeast Asia's hospitality sector is actually shifting, if you notice, from labor-intensive operations to now what we call the knowledge-driven ecosystem. This evolution actually involves redefining operational standards and job roles. We also look at the emphasizing hybrid competencies in technology, sustainability, as well as the emotional intelligence, right? So what has been forecasted, by 2030, we're gonna have about 300 million international visitors to be visiting Southeast Asia alone. And the region is poised to become what they call this global tourism hotspot. Right. However, significant challenge that we're going to have or going to remain is that how are we going to align hospitality education with all these industry needs to ensure the sustainable growth. My next slide is actually to look at the next how we examining the digital revolution in hospitality itself, right? So if you have traveled to Singapore before, right, you will notice Marina Bay Resort, right? What they have in their smart mobile app. If you check in and stay in the hotel, right, technically you don't have to do anything, right? Everything is like by your fingertips, right? So because of that, their guest satisfaction rate has improved by 20%, right? That is in Marina Bay Sands in Singapore. And in Thailand, if you travel to Siam Kempiski, for example, right, the what do you call this energy saving efforts that been practiced by the property also increase guest satisfaction for those who stays in hotels. So all these are what we call the digital revolution trying to shape the hospitality industry itself. Now, contactless technologies streamline guest journeys, reduce staff requirements, and also at the same time increase the visits or the repeat visits itself. The Internet of Things enable devices create smart room ecosystems, improving complaint response time, and also the RevPAR, the revenue for the rooms. Now, workforce transformation is also underway with digital ambassadors and new skills like data literacy becoming very, very essential nowadays. Yeah. So the next slide will be on the sustainability and the experience economy. So on this part, I think we can't deny that the sustainability and the what we call experience economy are the central of the modern hospitality, right? So many resorts around the world, right, getting slowly achieving what we call the eco certifications, right? So, for example, if you travel to Indonesia, the Bintan Island itself, almost 60% of the resorts located on the island have attained what we call the Green Globe certification, right? So we have a few resorts that which I know. Among them is like Banyan Tree Bintan. We also have Angsana Bintan and Bintan Lagoon Resort. So all these resorts basically are competing each other to basically be known as to practice sustainability. So like what I mentioned, 60% of them has already obtained the Green Globe certification. So practices like water conservation efforts, the circular economy practices and environmentally friendly packaging are also increasingly common, right? Where you see travelers now prioritize environmental credentials, especially the Gen Z, right? With statistics that shown that 72% of travelers would consider sustainability when making bookings for their accommodations, right? So on the experience side, the cultural storytelling and digital personalization are actually engaging the guests. Initiatives like if you travel to Philippines, for example, a hotel called Shangri-La Mactans, which has what they call or what we call the cultural immersion days, right? That what they practice has increased guest dwell time, turning staff into cultural ambassadors. So this is where they organize their internal activities, which involve the guests, which involve the employees itself, right? Creates a good interaction between the guests and the staff. Next, we look at the educational response and the curriculum modernization, what has been happening or what's going to happen to respond to the industry shift. Educational institution mostly are trying to modernize their curricula to include the important areas, which is the digital literacy. We have the data analytics, and on the sustainability area itself, right? So what we can see, like example given, the Nanyang Technological University, what they are trying to do is that they offer modules on AI personalization, right? While in Bangkok, where Bangkok University has specialized in what we call sustainable hospitality leadership. Another example, which is the University of Philippines, where they provide data-driven service innovation course using Tableau and Python. This is where students were exposed to skills to design, improve, and innovate services based on data analysis, which means they are transforming the raw data into insights, right? So they are analyzing all the data uh, to improvise their service and so on. So this is something which is I never thought about it, before, and now it's becoming reality. Right on. What do you call this? Universities are also partnering. What we can see, what's happening within the region, partnering with industry leaders, such as the example of Accor and Shangri-La, to develop what do you call this, apprenticeship program or internship program, dual degree programs, and as well as the mentorship opportunities. So collaboration with the industry is very, very important in order to be successful in this. Faculty development is also a priority itself, where with secondments, certifications, and immersion programs to ensure educators stay current. That means they are updated with what's the latest in the industry. And overall, education is transitioning from traditional service, training to what we call competency-based, hands-on, based on future-ready model. Next slide, what we look at, despite all the efforts that we already done or currently happening, there are still very huge gaps that remain, right? As what you can see on the screen. Studies on our students and few universities surrounding, we discovered that only 43% students demonstrate intermediate proficiency in the property management system, PMS, and only about 28% are very proficient in the customer relationship management, CRM. Soft skills is also lacking, is quite high, about 67% of students struggling with emotional regulation under pressure, and only 32% receives what we call crisis simulation training, right? So adaptability remains a challenge here, with over half requiring additional onboarding support. These gaps really highlight the need for what we call holistic approach to skills development to ensure graduates are fully prepared for the fast evolving hospitality environment. So the key insights is that despite curriculum improvement, still graduates lack of holistic readiness needed for the fast evolving hospitality environments. Now, future pathways and regional collaboration. Here, looking ahead, I see that regional collaboration and the standardization of frameworks is very, very vital. Initiatives like what Singapore, what do you call this, Singapore and Thailand is having at the moment. For example, Singapore is very interesting. What they have is what they call Singapore's skills future, right? Where they're trying to integrate lifelong learning credits, giving credits to participants who took up courses for lifelong learning, industry recognized certifications, and modular upskilling pathways. Thailand, okay, has this what they call national skills development strategy, which emphasizes on the competency-based training aligned with sectoral growth plans, right? So establishing national qualification framework will also help to bridge the gap between education and the demand from the industry itself. Right, on a broader scale, ASEAN-wide effort, where we can see such as the Asian University Network are working towards unified, what we call this, accreditation standards, shared digital learning platforms, and cross-border partnership. Okay, so this collaboration will hopefully enhance the Southeast Asia's global competitiveness. Right. Next is on the strategic recommendation. Technically, to conclude, we propose several strategic direction. First, we look into the policy integration, where adopting a national qualification framework that link credentials to industry skills, with the lifelong learning and modular upskilling pathways. Second, we can also look into fostering industry education symbiosis, where what we call is institutions will anticipate industry changes and collaborate very closely with the hospitality brands within the region or within the country. Lastly, regional collaboration is very crucial. This is where establishing Asian-wide accreditation standards, for example, shared digital platforms, and cross-border what we call this internship or apprenticeship programs implementing these strategies now is basically essential. It's very, very essential and critical in order to maintain regional competitiveness and also to ensure a resilient, future-ready hospitality workforce. Right? I think that's it for me. I think I hope I stay within the time frame. Thank you very much.
Wow, thank you so much, Dr. Sarvisal. So just one question. How come you got all the hearts and all the applause just beginning of the sessions and never happened before? So
Really?
it seems that, it seems that you're a
Must be-
favorite dean now here.
Must be my big fans.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that, Dr. Sarvisal. So, ladies and gentlemen, then Dr. Sarvisal was starting the presentation with industry transformation overview on the important highlights about how it is transforming from labor-intensive to knowledge-driven, and the new professional requirements in regards to competencies in technology, sustainability, and emotional intelligence here. Then about the growth projections. Then also we saw that digital revolution in hospitality. Then I was also impressed with the data, with the critical skill gaps analysis, that what exactly needed by the industry right now in regards to technical proficiency, soft skill, as well as adaptability. Then also Dr. Sarvisal shared about the future pathway and regional collaborations, and also closing the presentation with strategic recommendations in 4 sections, which is policy integration, then industry education symbiosis, regional collaborations, as well as implementations pathway. So thank you once again, Dr. Sarvisal. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now moving on to Q&A sessions, and I'm very delighted now to invite questions. So do you have questions? Please do write in the chat box. So then we would like to read that questions and also invite speakers to respond to your questions. I see one question here about AI. So I would like to invite Ibu Dr. Diaz to give a feedback on these questions. Came from Ibu Marlina Ina Subagio. AI is often promoted as a tool to enhance sustainability, yet its development and operation require significant energy and resources. So how can tourism industry ensure that AI truly contribute to sustainability rather than creating new environmental burdens? So may I invite Ibu Dr. Diaz to give your overview, please?
All right, it's actually such a tough topics, right? Because once it is, the AI can help us with efficiency and productivity in business, but on the other hand, also it creates, it contributes to carbon. So actually, I think the most carbon contributing products is like the what's called the one I forgot the name. Actually, hold a second. Actually, it is including blockchain. Blockchain is a very carbon intensive products, but actually AI is quite easy. It's not too carbon intensified, because actually we can use AI everywhere, right? Because the data already there. But I think the most important thing for the technology today is how to make the carbon offset on all the projects, because all the program, all what we do in our daily lives will creates carbon. So I think it's one of the solution to prevent it. But also through the technology can also make saving to the carbon. For example, like our today activity, like a webinar, it is less carbon than we meet in offline interaction. So always there are trade-off between technology and between all activities that we are doing. So the important thing is to think about the offset and so on. Thank you.
Right. Thank you so much, Dr. Diaz, for sharing the insight. So can I have the intervention from Pak Luat? There's a question about emerging markets like Indonesia, for instance. How exactly these gamifications, as you shared, could actually help to balance tourism growth or support tourism growth in connections with sustainability goals?
Yeah, I think many stakeholders in the region actually have to understand about the gamification itself, how it could be attached to the promotion of the destinations, because without doing those kind of gamification, sometimes it really hard to tap into the youth market, because we must see the growth of the youth market who have the mobility, the movement more than the elders, the elderly, something like that. They are becoming the next buyers. So I think the gamification itself have to be attached to the services, also integrate to the hospitality. So there should be collaboration with the government and also the private sectors in the hospitality, in the tourism destination, something like that one. So it could help how the tourism becoming an experience, not only a destinations, but also an experience that could retain the visitors in the upcoming years.
Well, thank you so much, Pak Luan. For the next question, I would love to invite Robert to respond on the. I say this question is very simple, but I think the response will be much longer than I expected. So, what are exactly the risk of relying too much or too heavy on AI in industry operation, especially in tourism operations? Would you mind to share that, please, Robert? Question came from Bapak Muhammad Alif Akmar bin Sher Muhammad.
Okay, absolutely. I'm delighted to, and that's a fabulous question, a very deep one. It seems very simple on the surface, but the risks associated with use of artificial intelligence within the tourism industry are quite deep and complex and embedded in end-to-end ecosystems that we're reliant upon. The technology solutions that deliver services and provide capabilities that enable people to book travel, to arrange experiences, to organize accommodation and activities during their holidays. They are wide and far-reaching. Using AI without the right sort of governance and controls can ultimately end in misuse of information. I think misuse of information is probably the biggest risk, and the bleeding of personal data across systems. So I think that that trust governance piece is very important, and the data privacy piece, understanding where you're allowing your data and information to go, how we're governing the decisions that the AI is making, is super important, because without that governance, there's very little accountability. Without accountability, you could end up putting people's lives at risk. The risk would come down to life, right? Because tourism is about people traveling and going places and experiencing things. And so if we're not governing the decisions and the recommendations that the AI is making, we could end up putting someone's life in danger. I'll keep it really simple. So yes, their personal privacy could be impacted, but ultimately that could lead to a security issue for that human being.
Well, thank you. That's really it really emphasizing the importance of taking responsibility and ownership and integrity in the using AI there. So thank you so much, Robert. Can I now move on to Dr. Surizal to respond to another question came from Muhammad Wildan Riyadi. What is exactly the biggest challenge in getting small tourism businesses to adopt AI technology? So we would love to hear your insights. Please, Dr. Sarizal. You are muted, I think.
Yeah, surely. Sorry. Yeah, very good, interesting question. Now, I think a few reasons. Number one, it could be because we are too emphasizing on the content knowledge versus skill application, right? The gap that you can see, curriculum still prioritizing on the theoretical knowledge, more on memorizing, and exams, right? So while employers are actually demanding more practical and those transferable skill, right? So how it feels that maybe students can explain concept but struggle to apply them in the real workplace context. Could also be because of the limited exposure to problem solving under the real constraint, right? So second could be because of the weak on the digital and data literacy integration, right? So what we can see is that the digital skills are often treated as what we call stand-alone subject instead of being embedded across the curriculum, right? How it feels that very minimal use of industry software, for example, data analytics, AI tools, and digital platforms. Students could also lack of confidence in the technology enabled workflow, sorry, and also could be because of no emphasis on data-driven decision making, right? And the next one, what I can come across to my mind, it could be because of the limitation of the industry alignment and real work exposure. Okay, what we can see the gap is the curriculum are actually designed academically, not market driven, right? How fails is that the learning outcome are a little bit outdated compared to the current industry practices. And then it could be because of the weak or tokenistic industry engagement, as well as maybe internships, lack of the structured learning outcomes linked to employability skills. Hopefully that answered your question.
Well, yes, thank you, Dr. Sarizal. So I saw the comment here perfectly explained. So then just one question I would like to address to all the panelists today. Question came from Gusi Ayu Arina Putri Pasyarani. So how can artificial intelligence be implemented in tourism industry, in this case, to improve operational performance while, or at the same time, still need to ensure ethical practices and ensuring long-term sustainability? So I would like to invite Dr. Diaz to respond to the questions first on the insight, please. You're still muted, Ibu Diaz.
Can you repeat again for the questions?
Yes, I'll do the questions. How can artificial intelligence be implemented in tourism industry to improve operational performance, while on the other hand, still need to ensure ethical practices and long-term sustainability?
All right, so I think the AI can be used for the tourism industry. For example, giving some information, information about what is really liked by the market, the trends, and so on. So we can create something that is actually really expected by the market. So actually, for example, we can use like ChatGPT to help our tasks. For example, in developing products and so on. So we can also test our products to the AI. So whether it will be accepted by the market, is there any same or similar products, and how it perform and so on. So actually, we can work together with with any kind of AI products with us to make us more better in making decisions for our marketing, our production, and so on. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Dr. Ria. So can I invite Pak Luwat, please, to share the insights on how exactly AI can be implemented in tourism industry in improving operational performance, while on the other hand, that we still need to ensure the ethical practices and long-term sustainability.
Yeah, the first of all, we have to understand that anything that we process in the internet, in the AI platform, something like that, we have to have the knowledge about the belonging of the data, the information. So we have to respect of the who own the data, who own the image, who own everything information that we input to be the part of the communication or transaction in the AI platform, something like that one. So after we know the ethic of the who belongs of the data, and then we can utilize the AI itself from the starting of the planning until to the implementation, until to the evaluation. Everything that we can do could be utilize AI for the supporting area. AI could help us to make framework. AI could help us to find more detailed information by having a good prompting. I think AI is very useful tools to support us to accelerate our tasks, our jobs, something like that. But the first of thing that the ethic is we have to understand we have to respect of the belong of the data, and we have to respect also about how the common practice of the license, how the common practice also to ask permit to use information, to use the everything that AI generate. But it's also we have to understand the information that generated by the AI still consider relate to the owner of the information of the owner of the information that we input to the AI. So it could help us to understand more about AI and to utilize AI more in productive steps. Thank you.
Right. Thank you, Pak Luwat. So respect and in common practice, also taking ownership in that. So may I also invite Dr. Shahrizal and also after that, Robert, to also share the intervention on that same questions, please, before I invite all speakers to share the last short closing statement. Can I invite Dr. Shahrizal, please, to share insights?
Again, Ibu?
Yeah, would you mind to I'll repeat the questions. How can AI be implemented in tourism industry to improve operational performance, while at the same time we need to ensure also ethical practices and long-term sustainability?
Right. Good question. Yeah, I think I mean the hospitality is always well known with the human touch, right? But we can never forget or neglect that this is the way to go, right? So however we try to deny it, it will still be the thing for the upcoming future. So how can we make sure that how does it benefit the industry itself? And at the same time, we will try to maintain the ethical into implementing it, right? So I think it's a big challenge that us in the academic itself trying to figure out. But what we have basically see happening is that what I've presented shortly just now, the efforts, the collaboration and all those hard work that has been done by most of the academicians trying to basically balance on the both side itself.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shahrizal. So may I also have an intervention from Robert, please, on the same questions, how AI can be implemented in tourism industry to improve operational performance, while at the same time, we need to also ensure ethical practices and long-term sustainability. Please, Robert.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, I think the use of AI comes down to one core principle, and that is optimization and efficiency of process. So if I look at two sides of tourism, let's look at the tourist side, the consumer side first. I think the biggest opportunity for that side is the use of agentic AI agents as concierge tools, as personalized travel agents that are able to scour the market, the vast amount of data in the internet, looking for suitable travel ideas, experiences that fit me, that fit my family, that fit our desires, our needs, our preferences. So being able to create these really customized agentic AIs that are very personal to the individual, they can empower people to find travel opportunities, find service providers that would not necessarily be so easy to identify, and really help them align the experiences that they're going to spend their money on and make sure that they get the value that they're looking for from their tourism experience. I think that's on the consumer side of things. I think that's the biggest opportunity, is the use of agentic AI as a concierge tool. On the service provider side, it's a very competitive industry. So being able to ideate new products and put them into the market quickly, get feedback on whether they're working or not, and being able to learn rapidly, make decisions about changing what services you're offering, what you're putting into market quickly, and being able to iterate and change rapidly. I think that's where the AI engines are going to really help the tourist service providers to be able to be more responsive and put product into the market much faster and learn, is it working? Should I change? Should we keep going? Do we expand this, or do we stop, pivot, and change and do something else? And I think that's where it would really help on the service provider side of things.
Well, thank you so much, Robert. So, well, ladies and gentlemen, and all speakers, I see that we are in time as of agenda. So before I hand over to the MC, I would like to invite all speakers to share the last short closing statement. Please, can I first start with Ibu Dr. Diaz, please?
All right. So AI can be our technical and strategic tools, become our assistant and agent in even decision making, but still human are the one who set boundaries, defining the cultural legitimacy, and giving the proportional autonomy, and we have to provide continuous governance and true value, and also the governance things, like the ethics and so on. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Ibu Dr. Diaz. So may I invite now Dr. Shahrizal to share the last short closing statement, please.
Right. Thank you very much. I think as what I mentioned earlier on, AI is there, is coming, is here, right? So it will basically benefit the industry. It will basically in the hospitality industry. Obviously, it will make the service better, right? I kind of saw an interesting question in the chat box just now, right? Where AI is going to make our life easier, but what happens to those who may lose their jobs? Now, nobody is going to lose their jobs. The only thing is that the employers and the employees technically need to upgrade ourselves with the knowledge and expertise to stay within the industry. For example, that we are seeing that in the front office itself, you don't deal with human anymore, and then of course you deal online check-ins and so on. But again, who's behind those technology? Of course, human. No, you basically need to equip yourself with the relevant knowledge and expertise just to stay in, in your job. Yeah, right. So technically, yeah, that's my 2 cents on this area. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Dr. Shahrizal, for also answering another question. So can I also now invite Robert, please, for the last short closing statement before I move on to Pak Luat. Please, Robert.
Yes, thank you very much, everyone, for this event today. It's been absolutely wonderful to listen to everyone's perspectives on how AI is going to impact tourism. My closing note really is coming back to how we integrate digital trust to the use of AI and making sure that those decisions that we're using it for are traceable and accountable. I think from a sustainability perspective, actually, next week on Thursday, I'm visiting a data center in Purwakarta, just outside Jakarta. It's a new facility that's been created by BDX and Lintasarta and Indosat, and it's 100% sustainable power. It's got its own hydro power supply, and it's been designed as the very first AI data center for Jakarta, for the whole of Indonesia. And you look at the power consumption demand for these GPUs, it's astronomical. Just to drive these AI engines, the power demand from the GPUs outweighs any other computing requirement that we see. And so we see the world is moving to building these sustainable data centers now. They're moving away from coal-fired energy sources into sustainable hydro power supplies, which is enabling us to now deliver artificial intelligence at massive scale, at hyperscale, to broad industries all across Indonesia. So this is a big step forward for us, for sustainable artificial intelligence that is environmentally sustainable as well as economically sustainable. So I'm really excited to go see this data center. I've seen hundreds of data centers all over the world, and this is the first one that excites me in a long time. But yeah, it's how we must not forget that the AI is interfacing with humans, and humans are vulnerable. And therefore, we need to make sure that the right trust, controls, governance, and accountability is being laid around the way we use the tool for the benefit of mankind, humankind.
Well, thank you so much, Robert. And also thank you for sharing about the data centers plan that happening in Indonesia. Well, of course, I would like to also invite Bapak Luat Sihombing for sharing the last short closing statement on this topic. Please, Pak Luat.
Yeah, thank you, Bu Erika. So I think we see in fact of the new generation child and young adult gamers tend to be much more like receptive indeed, often enthusiastic to the about the prospect of the AI, including the utilizing of AI in gaming and how gaming could be the bridging of the promoting cultural destinations, any kind of tourism. I think it could be to help us to closer to the child and young generation. How I think they behave like true friends using AI, the NPCs in gaming. So it's adaptive guess that the human developers would find difficult to script using the manual process. So games and artificial intelligence, I think, not only technologies of entertainment, but it is engines of experience, which is experience is about tourism is about experience by transforming culture and destinations into the interactive, more intelligence journeys, more like how to maintain the customer using all the interactive. We ensure that tourism that is will be sustainable, adaptive, and also I think continuously relevant for the future generation. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much indeed, Pak Luat, for the last closing statement. Well, distinguished speakers, ladies and gentlemen, please do accept my sincere regret that due to time constraint, we could not really response to all the questions addressed from the participants. But of course, I believe that all insights shared before will be very beneficial to all of us. And also thank you once again to our keynote speaker, Bapak Luat Sihombing, Director of Game at Ministry of Creative Economy of Indonesia, Robert J. Morris, Founder and CEO at SIPE and Block Identity Australia, Ibu Dr. Dias Pranita, ST.Par, MM, Lecturer, Magister of Creative Industry Program of University of Indonesia, and of course, Bapak Dr. Shahrizal Kamarudin, Dean of Faculty of Hospitality and Tourism at City University of Malaysia. And thank you to our leaders for the welcoming remarks, Director of PIB College, the Honorable Ibu Professor Dr. Insinyur Anastasia Sulistiawati, BEA, MS, MM, MS, DTH, PhD, DAG, Dr. Paulus Heri Arianto, MA, CBC, Deputy Director of PIB College. I'm Erica Sedana. It is indeed a great honor to be your host today. And let's now get back to our MC, one of the best students of PIB College, as I mentioned, who also was the winner of International Debate Competition, Miss Monica. Please, Monica.
Thank you so much, Miss Erica, for leading the panel discussion, and our outstanding speakers for a highly insightful and engaging sessions. On behalf of Polytechnic International Bali, we would like to express our heartfelt gratitude to all of the speakers, moderator, and participants who joined us today from across the globe. May the knowledge shared today will inspire motivation, innovation, collaboration, and transformation in your respective fields. So, ladies and gentlemen, before we move to the closing session, we would like to take a moment to deliver our highly appreciation to our distinguished speakers for the valuable insights and contribution to PIB International Webinar Series 16. As our token appreciation, PIB College would like to present certificate of appreciation to our speakers. For the first one, presented for Mr. Luat Sihombing, the Director of Game at Ministry of Creative Economy Republik Indonesia. Thank you so much, Pak Luat. Next, for Bapak for Mr. Robert J. Morris, the founder and CEO at the SIPE and Block Identity Australia. Thank you to Mr. Robert. Next one, for Dr. Dias Pranita, ST.Par, MM, the Lecturer Magister of Creative Industry Program of Universitas Indonesia. Thank you so much, Dr. Dias. Next, for Mr. Dr. Shahrizal Kamarudin, the Dean of Faculty of Hospitality and Tourism at City University, Malaysia. Thank you, Dr. Shahrizal. Once again, we are honored to have you all here as our keynote speakers and speakers for the whole insightful presentation. Now, I would like to invite all speakers, moderator, and participants to stay for a group photo sessions. Now we have 4 screens, so as a moment of PIB International Webinar Series 16, may we kindly ask to all participants to turn on your camera if possible, and ensure your name is visible on the screen. I will lead the photo session, so please hold your best smile, and Ms. Rati, I would like to ask your help to capture the screen. Okay, the first screen, give your best smile in 1, 2, 3. For the second screen, hold your smile, 1, 2, 3. The third screen, in 1, 2, 3. Okay, for the last screen, the fourth one, 1, 2, 3. All right, we already took our beautiful moment. Please don't forget to fill out the attendance link to claim your certificate. And all right. We already took our beautiful moment. Please don't forget to fill out the attendance link to claim your certificate and stay connected with us for the next webinar series. Also, please don't forget to follow us on our social media at Instagram and TikTok with username PIP_college, and for YouTube and Facebook with username PIP College. And you can take a look to our website pro.pip.ac.id. Also, we would like to invite you to visit our campus at Jalan Pantai Nyanyi, Braban, Kediri, Tabanan, Bali. I'm Olga Monica Setiawan, and it has been my honor to host today's series. Until next time, stay safe, stay inspired, and have a wonderful day ahead. Thank you very much and goodbye.
Right. Thank you, Monica. Thank you, everyone. Pak Luat, thank you. Dr. Rizal, Robert, thank you so much. Budias, and
Thank you very much.
all participants. Thank you. Yep.
My pleasure. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
very much.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Bye, everyone.